Alright, you guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about how I've been blessed enough to have built my dream life in 1 year. I used to feel like I was stuck in so many different cycles. I was stuck in the 9 to 5 work cycle, and I was mentally stuck where I would go through periods of time where my motivation was high, but I had no progress to show for it. Back then, my weeks revolved around the weekend, and I was drinking in order to be social at the expense of my dreams. And eventually, I just got so sick of waking up every single day feeling terrible about myself. I got tired of being stuck professionally, physically, socially, and mentally. And when push came to shove and I finally realized that I'd had enough of feeling like that, I entered what I now call the dig phase. Now, this really started when I just decided that I was going to start my fitness journey. But as a result of that, I found myself with more energy because starting my fitness journey made me focus on my nutrition more, which gave me energy. I wasn't just being fueled by bagel bites and goldfish anymore. No wonder I felt terrible. Fitness also forced me to build a routine for myself. I had to balance work, school because I was still in online college at the time, and I had to find the time to even go to the gym, not to even mention things like meal prepping. And one of the biggest things that committing to my fitness journey really did for me was it gave me more time to be alone. And don't get me wrong, at first that sucked, because that meant if I wanted to see progress, I had to spend less time at parties and I had to be less agreeable. But eventually what I realized is that I wasn't missing out. I was just starting to choose my long-term goals over short-term pleasure. And the longer I stayed in this dig phase, the more enjoyable it actually got. I started to actually notice change physically. My energy levels improved, and I realized that I was actually learning skills. I was learning how to cook. I was learning how to balance my responsibilities. And I was also learning a ton of micro skills at the time that I didn't know would help me later on, like editing videos. And I was only editing videos because I was so passionate about fitness at the time. But having a successful fitness journey really changed my view on success overall. I began to view success as a filter. And along the way, I heard if you don't want to be like everybody else, you can't do what they do. And really what that means to me is I knew that I didn't want to be average. None of us want to be average, because being called average means you're typical or normal. And that's not how I wanted to be remembered someday. So this is how fitness changed my view on success. I now realize that success is a filter. And here's what I mean by that. So picture a funnel. And to this funnel, there are 4 levels. And like any funnel, it gets smaller at the bottom and it's larger at the top. And we're going to say, for example's sake, the bottom of this funnel is quote unquote success on your fitness journey. So at the top, you're going to have more people. And these people are going to be just like I was. They're drinking, living for the weekend, and they're willing to trade their long-term goals for short-term pleasure. But then let's say that you're done with that level and you want to move down towards success. So now we reach the next level. You're going to be drinking less, going out less, and you're going to have to be less agreeable, but that's going to bring you some progress. In between those 2 levels is when most people quit their fitness journeys. And that's because it's confusing. Maybe you haven't mastered training and nutrition yet. It's demotivating because you haven't stayed consistent long enough to see progress. And all that temptation from the first level is going to make you start to feel alone. But now let's say that we're willing to put in a little bit more time and we want to jump down to that 3rd level. And in this level, you stop drinking, you've stopped going out, but this is the level where if you can stay there long enough, you will transform. And that's because in between the last level and this level, you've dealt with feeling lonely. You've learned enough about training and nutrition to realize that you have to stay more disciplined than motivated. And you actually start seeing some results, so the process becomes more enjoyable for you. And finally, you've transformed and you've reached your goal physique. And naturally, there were a lot of metaphorical hills to climb to get to this point. So success is going to be lonelier. There's going to be less people at the bottom of that funnel because of all the hardships you had to face along the way. And guys, this isn't just about fitness. This process can be applied to any area of your life if you truly want to be successful. It could be learning a skill, building relationships, but it is the path to becoming your best self. And I know this because after I made that fitness transformation, I viewed my fitness coaching business as a funnel. And as a result, I'd been able to quit my 9 to 5 job, help my parents buy their dream house, and be able to say that I wake up each and every single day doing something that I love. So guys, if you're serious about building your dream life, identify your funnel, enter the dig phase, and don't quit until you reach the bottom of that funnel. Or if you feel alone or demotivated right now, keep going. Those are just steps that are necessary in any funnel to reach success in any given area. Because that point when things start to get difficult and unbearable is when most people quit. But that's also right before you start to see the progress that you're there for. So guys, if you want to be successful and you don't want to be like most people, you can't do what they do. Keep pushing. Success isn't easy, but it is worth it. So guys, my current mission is to mentor success-driven young adults to a successful future by using fitness as the gateway. So guys, that's why I want to ask you to share this video with a friend who you want to meet at the bottom of the funnel.